Hey y'all, welcome back to the homestead. If you're new here, my name is Alicia and I'm very happy to have you. Today, as promised, I had wanted to make sourdough bagels like I had talked about in our latest video, but I simply do not have time and we ran out of sandwich bread, so that's what I'm going to address today. I normally make like a medium size loaf of sandwich bread, but my husband bought me a giant loaf pan, so I'm going to double my usual sandwich bread recipe and make a huge loaf. So I've started with 200 grams of sourdough starter and I'm adding 400 grams of water. Next, I'm gonna feed my starter first, so I don't forget to do that. And I'm gonna add in 800 grams of bread flour. You could also use all-purpose. Today I have bread flour, so that's what I'm adding. I'm going to give that a little mix before I add the next two ingredients, which are 40 grams of honey and 40 grams of olive oil. I was kind of low on honey, but I was pretty sure that I had just enough. I don't know if y'all can tell, but Lawson is very interested in sourdough. I've ordered some honey, but like I said, I was pretty sure that between these two jars I had just enough. And all I can say is, wow. Now I'm just gonna get this pretty well incorporated. It's gonna be a shaggy dough, and I'm gonna get it mixed up pretty good before I add my salt. I like to let this rest a little while before I add the salt in. And the original recipe is 8 grams, so I think I wind up doing 15 grams because 8 grams, one of the loaves, I don't know why, but it seemed a little on the salty side. So whenever I did this one today, doubling, I did 15 instead of 16. Lawson seems a little less interested right now, and he's done got sleepy. So I've got the salt in there, and this looks a lot like the stretch and folds, but really I'm just trying to get the salt throughout the dough, and I'm going to let it rest for about 30 minutes before I do the first set of stretch and folds. And I think Lawson is checking out about right here. Bless it. Okay, like I said, this dough will be a little bit shaggy, but this is my first set of stretch and folds, and you can tell there's a good bit of resistance. You know, it's not real easy to pull out, but it's still a really nice dough. Now I'm gonna let it rest another 30 minutes and do my second set of stretch and folds, and you can tell it's a little more elastic now. It's a little bit easier to work with. Now I'm gonna let it rest probably an hour or so, and I'm gonna cook supper in the meantime. I just did a simple spaghetti, except I didn't use spaghetti, I used bow tie. I just like to switch it up every now and then. Same old recipe, just different looking pasta. This is the jovial brown rice pasta that I get from Thrive Market. It's my favorite. I had a feeling there was some left in there. No bow tie left behind. Okay, now I'm just gonna get my dough onto this cutting board and I'm gonna laminate it. I'm gonna stretch it out into a rectangle. And I was kind of concerned about the size of my dough whenever I get it laminated. It's not really long enough to fit into the pan, but I saw somebody else do this and it did expand as the dough rose. It expanded to fit in the pan that she put it in, and I'm hoping that that happens here. So I'm gonna fold the two sides and then roll it up. And like I said, I feel like it's too short. This pan is really long, as you can see. So I'm like trying to stretch it to where it's long enough for this pan, and it just doesn't want to stretch out. But I will tell y'all, spoiler alert, it does turn out just fine. It really does expand and it fills this pan and everything turns out fine. And now I'm just gonna cover it up and leave it sitting on the counter until it looks like it's doubled, which is when I realize that it does go ahead and expand and fill the pan. And after that, I'm gonna stick it in the fridge overnight. And the next morning, I got up pretty early to deal with this because this is Sunday and we're headed to church, and Lawson is being dedicated this morning, so we need to be there kind of early. And I was kind of stressed about having to do this bread before I got ready for church, but all of that turned out just fine. I'm just gonna do an egg wash on top because I want it to be nice and golden brown. And then I'm gonna add some rolled oats on the top. I've started doing that. You do not have to do that, but it looks really cute. And into the oven it goes, 375 for 40 minutes. I actually did about 45 minutes because, like I said, this is a doubled recipe, so I felt like it needed a little longer, and turned out perfect. Now fast forward to Monday morning. As you can see, it's still very soft and it slices so nicely, and I'm going to use it this morning to make egg in a basket. You just pinch out the middle of your bread. Some of you may have done this before, some of you may have never heard of that before, and you just crack an egg in the middle in the holes. And I picked the smallest egg to put in the one that I felt like had the smallest hole in it, and it had the biggest yolk. What in the world? Thank y'all for watching this video and hanging out with me today. I'm going to put this recipe for the sourdough sandwich bread in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more.